Alright guys, how's it going? I'm your host, C.R.L. Gameline. And today we're going to be talking about the Akbronco Prime. We're going to see what makes this weapon tick or what makes it not tick. Is this weapon useful or not? We don't know, but we will find out. Today on Warframe, baby. We're going to be looking at the Akbronco Prime. So let's get to it, y'all. Yep. Alright, let's take a look at the Akbronco Prime. Now the Akbronco Prime do consist of two other weapons, which will be one Akbronco and another Akbronco in order to make it a Akbronco Prime. So to get the blueprint for this, you have to go on a Tower 4 Interception Rotation A, and also you can do a Tower 2 Survival Rotation A. For the Akbronco Link, you have to do a Tower 3 Capture or a Tower 4 Capture. So you can do either one of those and get those parts. Now this weapon was introduced in the game in update 12.4, and we're just going to look over this weapon. I do have a 3 Forma build on this weapon here, but if you ever watch my videos, you're going to see what I like to do is just go over some stats and let's look at some details and qualities of this weapon. All right, now the weapon does have a fire rate of 8.3 on the rounds in this per second. The critical multiplier is at a 2.0. If you're looking at the bottom right hand side of the screen here, it's a critical chance of a 2.5%. The accuracy is at the 3.7. It is alarming, of course. The reload is at a 2.3. What really makes this weapon so good here is the status. Yeah, it's at a 30%, which is actually pretty good for this weapon here. Now this weapon does primarily deal with impact damage, so that's going to work really good against the against shields and things like that. So it's going to work out really good. Let's look at a little bit of advantages about this weapon. Now it does have extremely effective close range shots. So basically it's really good whenever you're close range. That's one thing I figured out by playing with this weapon and just going along fighting the infested or fighting, you know, any faction that's out there. I learned that shooting close range, it does really good damage. It does also have good ammo efficiency. If you you can also add like a ice storm or something like that on there, you know, to add more of the capacity on your bullets or your pellets, and have more bullets whenever you're fighting against the enemy as well. This weapon also does high damage scales, especially whenever you're using elemental mods. Now that right there comes in handy as well, and it does really good with the status. So you can pretty much get the status up to 100%, and that's another thing. This weapon does really good on status, and that makes every pellet proc a status effect. So that's really good. And another good thing about this weapon is it doesn't really have fall off damage. So yeah, that's actually a good thing. So let's look into the build here now. I do it, like I said, I have a 3 Forma build, V polarity and 2 dashes. I usually use those for, you know, if I wanted to not put any status mods on and just put some, you know, mods like percussion rounds or pommel or anything like that. But I do want to go ahead and go over the status build that I do have. And that's gonna, you know, proc out really good every time. Like I said before, whenever I'm using the pellets, for every proc it's gonna have that status effect, and it's gonna, you know, hit off really good. Now the one thing I do have to say about this weapon, actually 2 things. It's kind of a disappointment. You know, due to the medium range, it has that large spread cone, and it's just on a limited use. I do hate the fact about the ammo, you know, the ammo magazine is so low on it, kind of, but it does bring good efficiency to it though. And another thing is the low critical chance, man. It's at 2.5, man. I can't just can't deal with that, man. That's crazy. But it doesn't do anything for crit. But we can see what we can do with this status, okay? All right, so with this build here, we're gonna go ahead and take a look at this thing right here. I do have the Hornet Strike. That's at the max levels at 220% damage. The barrel diffusion is at 120% multi-shot. The lethal torrent is at 60% fire rate, and it gives me plus 60% multi-shot, so I get up to 180% on that multi-shot there. I do have Jolt, which gives me 60% electricity and plus 60% status chance. If you don't have these mods, you can pretty much get these mods on spot missions and things like that. They usually pop out every once in a while. I believe the hardest one pretty much to get is like a thermite rounds or something like that a lot of people try to buy. So you can pretty much get these mods here though. Frostbite, 60% cold damage, but gonna give me a 60% status chance. Basically these mods right here is gonna keep giving me the status chance. So Pistol Pestilence is 60% on Toxin, and Scorch is 60% on Heat. And I just went on and added in a Petrogen round. You know, it's gonna give me just more on the corrosive right there. Now before I look into this, I also want to look over the regular Bronco. And well, the Akbronco, sorry about that. See if I can find it first. It should be in here. Or is it not? Huh. Oh, here we go. All right, so looking at the status right here now, compared to the Bronco, Akbronco Prime, now it does have a lower impact damage of the 63 versus the 84. Yeah, it's okay, you know. I mean, high impact damage does do good against the shields, but you know, we pretty much need more than that. And now it does have a higher slash damage of the 31.5 versus the 10.5 that it did have. So that's actually a good thing. We did need more on the slash damage to go against the armored infested and things like that for more of the fleshy units. And it does come with the higher status chance, like I said before, which is 30% versus the 14%. We're gonna need that status. That's good. It does have a larger magazines of the 6 versus the 4. That's a whole lot better because that 4, yeah, we won't get nowhere with that. And it does come with the additional V polarity. So, you know, those V polarities are always good. We always got mods with the mostly V's and anything else, unless you're gonna use like a lot of elementals and stuff like that. But most of the mods that we do have do consist of a V polarity. So I want to go ahead and use that. Now, a lot of people, like for the build here, for this type of weapon, you like to use, a lot of people like to use like, you know, quick draw or stunning speed, because it's usually good for the reload, and it's good to also have in order to maintain a decent DPS for your weapon, so you can keep the proc going and just keep going with your shots. But then again, that drops down on the status. So yeah, I really kind of like the status because, well, I'm gonna show you that. And then a lot of people also use the Seeker mod, which the Seeker is really good because what that does is it makes it good for controlling the crowd capability. So if you go ahead and use a Seeker mod, what they do is that it gives you that punch through 2.1 on the punch through, and that works out pretty good whenever you're going against the infested and things like that. So like I said before, this 100% status for this weapon is actually pretty good, and we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna show you guys what this is about. All right, so I already have my little enemy out right here. I'm gonna go ahead and use Bowgun for today. Hopefully I don't die because these guys are strong as hell. And yeah, we're gonna try to get this out the way. We're gonna try to get this done, y'all. Let's see what we can do today. You already know I like to put these dudes up to 135. Go ahead and get this guy out right quick. We're gonna see what we got going. I had to move away from him real quick. All right, so I'm gonna get up kind of close right now. I ain't trying to be up on his nut, but try to see how this goes. So I already knocked some shield down. I'm pretty much just dealing with the flesh right now. That's pretty much 3 rounds right there. I'm pretty much knocking them down. I mean, this weapon is, like I said, man, that proc is something, is something crazy, man. That proc is something crazy. Like I said, man, this weapon is a great weapon. You should really look into it if you don't have it. Man, it's a good weapon, man. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's it for that example right there. All right, so another good thing about this weapon is that it does a combination on the pellets that the damage is value. So basically what that means is the impact damage is at a 9. That is wait a minute, I believe the impact damage is at a 9. Yes, it is at a 9. The puncture damage will be at a 1.5, and also the slash damage will be at a 4.5. So that would, you know, make it better for the infested whenever you're going to get the enemies, the infesting unit and things like that, or the fleshing units. Actually, it'd be better for the low levels, not really that much of the high levels, but you know, it's still a good recommended weapon that I like to use. Now, also, it does deal the same amount of damage the Akbronco Prime does. It does do the same amount of damage as that's compared to the normal counterpart. So basically, it trades out some of the impact damage for additional slash damage, but makes it more effective, which makes it, you know, just a lot more better for them, for the weapon as well. But you know, that's my recommendation on the weapon. So I'm gonna give a let's rate this weapon. From 1 to 10, I would have to say I had to give this weapon a 8. I want to say 8 mainly because of the fact that it's just not that crit damage, man. I can't deal with it, you know. I really like the weapon. I like the status. You know, I like the fact that I can get the 100%. Pretty much, you know, blow things away with the blast damage and things like that. But as far as the, you know, the crit damage and the scaling, I just can't really do anything with it. However, the weapon is fun to play with. You know, a lot of people have their own play styles, so they just like to have fun with the weapon. And just, you know, go around and shooting everything up and things like that. You know, the weapon is really fun. I gotta admit that. But I really like crit weapons. I like to go around and, you know, get those red numbers or whatever, get the yellow numbers, whichever one, you know, works out the different. But this weapon, it's fun to play with. You know, seeing them knock down everywhere, as you just seen just now. This weapon is fun to play with. So, you know, if you don't have the weapon, go out there and get it. You know, make it to your own play style, you know, how you want to do it. But, you know, this is how I did it for me. You don't have to do the same thing I did. This is just something that I want to do. So, I do thank you guys for watching the video. If you liked the video, go ahead and hit the like button. If you didn't, hit the dislike. You know how it is for me, it is what it is. And until next time, guys, thank you for watching. And I'll see you next time.